Hello. Hello.
Testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, we
are
are
live.
at the home of Long Drive in Mesquite, Nevada for the 2022 PLDA World Championships.
Edward Michael Joseph.
Edward Michael Joseph,
right.
William Bartholomew, Ranches, Sanchez, Vicario, Conchita Martinez, Hernandez, Fernandez in the booth. And I'm back after, I think I hit 24 out of 30 in play.
That was impressive. That was an impressive round
Display
there, buddy.
of slow ball speed,
Hey,
but hitting it in
Hey,
play,
you
right?
won a bonus.
Yeah, I did. I won
right?
two.
Yeah, beautiful. Awesome job, buddy.
That was fun, though. I mean,
Yeah, of
it's
course
just
it was.
like you're going up and I'm walking down the line there, like just to go stretch in the 10. I'm like, oh, this is ridiculous. This
Why
group
am I
is
doing
sick.
this? Right?
This group is sick. And that was a lot of fun, though.
Yeah.
And it was nice to see Kyle just, I mean, he was on a pitch count. I really, truly didn't watch him hit at all, obviously, because I was competing.
Right.
But, I mean, there was a couple sets where he just hit a few balls and shut it down. Like, he's obviously in it for the long haul here, and the least amount of swings he can put on that hand.
Yeah, for sure.
And he went across the board, so he took 1,000 points.
If there was a definition of cruising, that was it. I mean, a couple sets he only hit 2 balls, 3 balls, and he didn't have to.
Yep. And the fact, like he said, he's not even like in his regular routine of warming up or whatever. He literally did not hit one ball.
224 was his. I mean, it's ridiculous, right?
All right, so right now we have Sam Judah, Jim Waldron, Reed Russell, Sandy Porter. To start off, round robin number 3 of the day. 64 guys enter today, and 32 are going to survive, and then they're going to have 2 round robins tomorrow to get us down to the final 16 on Saturday, and then it's 16-1. But today, like I said, that's so much fun. The grid's in perfect condition. The weather's been great. Wind hasn't really been a factor. Sam Judah right out the blocks at 395, and Sam did great. I mean, I think he swept his set, his group.
He did 1,000 points yesterday.
Yep.
Got a new shaft in the bag. I'm not going to talk about.
I'm going to say it's a TPT.
It's a TPT. It is a TPT. Him and a few other guys are playing it, so it's impressive.
So we're going to key in here on Reed Russell. Reed ended up winning Utah, the last tour event that we had. Struggled a little bit yesterday, but you know, he's so fast and so strong that he was able to kind of muscle through his first day. And we've said it multiple times over the past 2 days that Reed, Russell, and Colton Castro are similar hitters, and Colton ended up sweeping as well. I think Colton won every single set as well.
Yep.
So
1,000 points.
Yeah.
Impressive.
And one thing that Colton did really well this morning was put a lot of balls in play right off the bat.
Yeah, that he usually never does that. Usually takes him a few to kind of get comfortable, but I think he got one of his first 3 balls in every single set, which is big for him.
Yep.
Then he can kind of, he's a little tight when he gets up there, but once he loosens up, I mean, he's dangerous.
Yes, he is.
And if Reed catches one here, he's going to hit it for something.
All right, so Reed Russell, 209 ball speed, so I'm guessing that was a little bit thin there. He's
definitely a miss hit.
382, Sam Judah's 395. You know, it's nice to start off your first set of the day at 395. It's a good number.
Yeah, 400 is the longest ball of the day. Kyle, he's on Josh Koch hit at 399 this morning. The wind is starting to help, so we're gonna see some balls in the 4s.
It's
no doubt. We'll see some 420 balls most likely if the wind keeps up like this.
Yep, correct.
It's getting warmer too.
It is. It's very hot right now.
Yeah.
It is. But
95 is a good ball. First one out of the gate too, right?
Swinging. Jim Waldron hitting a bunch of balls in play right now.
Just these guys are so strong, man.
Yes, they are.
Good Lord.
I didn't see the last set. Did Greg Nall get in?
So it happened perfectly. Greg Nall won the set, gets in, and then Jacob Galladay finishes second. He gets in.
Okay.
Steenberg finishes third. He gets in. He's in 8th, and he knocked Spencer and I can't remember who else, Haggerty out.
Oh, wow, because Haggerty's a good hitter.
Yeah,
I mean,
Spencer and Haggerty were tied for 7th.
Wow.
And that's the only way that both of them would have gotten knocked out and there would have been a playoff.
Yeah, because I know that Greg Nall had to win his last set. And he didn't match up against Kyle then, huh?
Who?
Greg Nall didn't match up against Kyle?
He should have. He got to hit against everybody.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
can't
talking
remember.
about in the last set. I wasn't sure.
No, it wasn't.
It.
I think it was based on how they finished yesterday or Tuesday, Bobby.
That makes sense because
So-
I just assumed that, just based off the world rankings, what have you, they would hit last. But, they reseed after.
I think that's good the way they do that.
I do too.
World rankings is hard. The last thing you want to do is struggle, and then all of a sudden you get Kyle, Justin, and Martin in the last set, and you have to win it, right?
Yep. So Sam Judah takes down the first set at 200 points. Reed Russell 382, Jim Waldron 373. Still don't have two numbers from Sandy Porter, but it looks like he is done at 337. That was funny today. First ball out of the blocks. They said you went 369. I'm like, there's no way I hit that 369.
We're looking at it like,
I'm like,
oh my
what?
God. Bobby went 369.
I spun it, and then I'm looking at the board, and it's like 369, 368, 370, and 369.
368. That was like 2 yards between. I'm like, holy crap, Bobby's freaking getting after it.
Oh yeah.
I was giving you props too.
Yeah, right. And because Galladay's like he gave me the bad news that I hit 345. But
Bobby, it actually went 345.
I was like, well, that makes more sense.
Right.
Because when I looked back and looked at the spotter in slot 4, I'm like, really?
Yeah.
And we've mentioned it about slot 1 and slot 4. The golf ball is both white, and then they have that thin little green line in slot number 4. So.
Want to get on?
But if you guys want to do this one?
You want to do?
No.
Huh?
Okay. So we got Stephen Coyce and
Will Hogue.
here.
Stud. What's up, brother? Good to see you, pal. Good job today. Really good.
So Will got in a nice little rhythm last couple sets. All right.
Oh. What's up, Bobby?
Hey, man. How you feeling?
Good. I had a good day.
Yes,
so.
you did. Yeah, you ended strong the last couple sets. What setup were you hitting? Because I wasn't sure.
I'm using the LD10. Actually.
I did too. It's crazy.
Definitely a little whippy.
Yeah.
But it makes me slow down, which is good for me. I might go to the LD40 tomorrow and actually swing a little harder. But I don't know. My ball flight was good, so if it stays where it is, I might keep going with it.
Yeah, I mean, today was, obviously I was getting my doors blown off by everybody, but it was really fun to swing the LD10, or the D10, and I just was being super patient. And ironically enough, my dispersion was super tight and hit a lot of balls in play, but it was so funny. It was me, Berkshire, Mitch Grassing, and then Steenberg, and you hear Bobby Peterson's like, come on, Bobby, you got this. And I was like, yeah. And I told Kyle, what's our over-under right now? I was like, you beat me by 42.5 yards. Well, he only beat me by 39 or 40. So
That's a win then, right?
it is a win. But McIntosh at 371, Cody Billinghurst 372, Jared Forder at 351, and Cody Albertson was still waiting on a number.
Yeah,
but
I really liked Dan's action yesterday. He had a really good flight yesterday. I think he's going to have a pretty good day here today. That looked like a pretty good one he just hit right there, too. 209 ball speed. That could be a pretty big number right there.
It is. And he does a bunch of exhibitions, and when you do that many exhibitions, the focus is to try to hit as many balls straight as possible, so you don't have to put a swing 100 times at a charity event. And Dan does probably 80 to 100 events a year, so him hitting the strike zone in baseball terms isn't going to be an issue for him.
No, and he had a really good action yesterday. Hit a nice flat penetrate. Yeah, 397 right there from Dan. I knew that was going to be a pretty big number. He's to a nice penetrating flight right now. So
the wind's picked up probably 4 or 5 mile per hour, a little down right to left. So, if McIntosh hits a little cut, that might benefit him in slot number 1. But slot number 4, once again, is probably going to be the slot where you're going to see some of the biggest golf balls today, just because it's down right to left.
Yeah, you can kind of sling it a little bit more. The only thing I'll say with slot 4, it's harder to keep the ball in the ground. The peg seems to be a little more flimsy in slot 4.
Yeah, really have to focus on getting that ball on the tee.
But yeah, 397 from Dan there. That was a monster.
Yeah. So if you're tuning in for the first time, we're in a round robin. 16 hitters hit for 8 spots. 450 is normally the bubble, so you try to get 450 points. In order to get the 450, you got to win a set, take a couple seconds potentially. You can even come in 3rd or 4th or even go a B. It's like Ricky Bobby, man, there's 4th or 5th. There's me, heck, you can come in 9th.
Day 1, I think I only hit 3 balls in play out of the 3rd.
Yeah, but 200 points for 1st, 100 points for 2nd, 50 points for 3rd, 25 points for 4th, and if you go a B, you get 0. But yeah, 450 kind of seems right to be the bubble throughout the entire tournament. I can say I got in at 500 and I was the A spot, and I've seen guys get in at 400. So get a couple wins and hit a bunch of balls in play. You move on.
This is an interesting group we got coming up right here. Brian Kelly, obviously a great ball striker. Jeff Gavin, I hate hitting against him. He's, in my opinion, one of the most dangerous hitters on the planet for sure. And then Bobby Ray and Sean Johnson both got some speed, especially Sean. He can really bring it when he gets into it. So this could be an interesting group right here. But downwind, I don't think there is a better hitter on the planet than Jeff Gavin.
I agree. He is in people that have been tuning in since Tuesday pretty much know what I'm going to say. But Justin James went 221, went 407, hit a good ball. Jeff Gavin went 205 ball speed and hit it 401. So he was only 6 yards difference in distance.
Downwind, Jeff Gavin just has a monstrous ball flight.
Yep.
I mean, to be as old as he is and compete like he does, it's amazing.
Yep. Yeah, he's 50. I think 54. I know Wendy's here, Miss Gavin. So she can confirm if he's 54. But Gavin drinks from the fountain of youth. He just gets younger and faster every year.
Looked like a pretty good ball from Brian right there. I think that was Brian that hit it. That might have been Bobby.
Bobby Ray.
Bobby Ray. Pretty good ball right there from Bobby.
Still waiting on a number from any of the guys. I mean, Brian Kelly, more than likely out of this group. There are performance bonuses. Will hit the most balls in play. He's got 2 balls at 333 yards. Looking at the wind right now, there's not really much anything going on right now. The wind died down from about 2 minutes ago, so you might see the numbers like in the 70s. Might be decent.
Yeah, Sean is definitely the speed guy in this one. If you had in this group, if you had a guy who's going to hit the 220 number, it's going to be Sean.
221, Sean Johnson.
Yeah, he's got the horsepower, but the ball flight is a big deal in this grid. One of the most underrated parts of hitting in Mesquite is controlling that ball flight.
Gavin 206, 91 feet in the air.
Yeah, and you can see right there, Sean and Jeff are. Oh, look at Bobby Ray coming at 358. But Sean and Jeff, I mean, one's a 221 and one's a 206, and they're the same distance.
Yep. So the wind up here actually feels like it's slightly in our face a little bit.
It does feel like it's a little bit back in our face now.
203 Jeff Gavin, ball speed 102 feet in the air, like not the prototypical ball flight that you'll see from Jeff, but he's listening in and knows that a lot of the balls today that are going in the last couple of days that are going farther are anywhere between like 80 feet in the air to 120, and Bryson just put on a clinic yesterday. He was hitting it 2-3 yard cuts, draws. I mean, he literally had control of that golf ball all day
that's
yesterday.
The thing with Bryson. I mean, you know he's not going to beat himself.
No.
I mean, if you're going to beat him, you're going to have to beat him. He ain't going to give it to you. See, I think Sean just hammered one right there.
218. Looking at the height, didn't get the height on that one. But 218 from Sean Johnson.
I think that's going to be a big ball.
Not much movement either. That's about, as my high school education serves me, 8.66 yards of cut. So, yeah.
I think that's going to be a big ball. Yeah, 381 right there from Sean Johnson.
Little 8-yard cutty right there from Sean Johnson.
So big last ball for him there.
Yeah.
Because that takes him from a tie for second to first. So big point difference right there.
Yep. And you can settle into, you get 200 points right off the bat. I mean, you're literally sitting pretty. Wins are enormous right now. Especially, I mean, like you said, my group, like walking down, it was like you got Greg Nall, Kyle, Mitch Grassing, Steenberg. I mean, Galladay's a great hitter. I mean, I don't even know. I can't even remember who I was up against. I mean, honestly, but everybody that was standing on the tee box, I'm like, these guys are really good.
I mean, the worst feeling in the world is to go up into that last set feeling like you have to win.
Yeah.
Because almost always your last set is going to be your hardest one.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And we just talked about it with Eddie because I knew that Greg Null had to win his last set. And I figured that he would be going up against Kyle, but they reseed based off of what you finished the day before. And Greg Null didn't match up against Kyle, which was, obviously it's a little bit different, if he's going up against Kyle, because Greg Null's a guy that can get hot quick, really, really quick.
Well, with that kind of speed, I mean.
Yeah. He did hit the longest ball of the day yesterday, I believe, Greg Null. So he got in at 500 points.
Well, here comes the tightest shorts in the long drive.
Martin, of course. Really interested to see how Martin comes out of the blocks. I mean, really, truly, he looked great in set number 3 and 4 yesterday, and see if he gets right off to a good start right away. Borgmeyer 213.
This one, tell, is that ball hanging in or is it going left?
It's going left. It looks like it's going to be OB left.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be out left.
A lot of movement in his golf ball. It was about a little less than 60 yards of movement. So the grid's 60 yards wide. So, if Martin Borgmeyer.
Tyga just got a hold of one.
Tyga looked awesome, by the way. Tyga was one of the most impressive guys in day one, hitting a lot of balls in play. A little sweep and draw here at 217 miles per hour.
Well, Martin liked that one, 218. 17-degree launch. It's going to be up in the air. Is it going out left?
Look at the curve.
Yeah.
He had about 70 yards of curve.
Curved a little too hard there.
Yep. So, I said, if I'm Martin right now, I'm focusing on looking out right and just starting it out right because he does hit a natural draw. And right now he's overturning it just a tad on his first couple balls. Taika Tazawa at 369 yards, not too much wind right now. Andrew Fernandez at 347. All right, let me take a look at Borgmeyer. Just too much movement on his golf ball right to left. That's about close to 55 yards of draw.
That's the length of the grid, width of the grid, so that's going to be too much.
So you're going to look right now, if you're looking at Martin Borgmeyer's numbers, he's going to have to tighten that up even half. I mean, if he goes to 70, 80 yards or feet of draw, he can start it out right and have plenty of room.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because, this grid really, truly is enormous. Martin Borgmeyer, 388 yards. That one did sneak in on that third ball, which is a big number.
Yeah, that's a very big number.
So that's a good start for
Martin. That's one
Martin.
you can sit on and kind of relax a little bit.
All we can really do here, like sitting in the booth, is kind of look at what the top tracer is showing us. So it might start off, it might look like it's starting off down the middle. But like I said, if he's aiming out right, which right now I can see right down the line with Martin, he is 100% aiming out right. So I like that. I like that game plan for him. $70 yards. Wow. All right. Well, Jacob Ignite ended up not putting a ball in play. Tyga Tazawa is at 369. Still waiting for two more numbers for Tyga. One more from Andrew Fernandez. Martin Borgmeyer is confirmed at 388.
So, yeah, the only thing I worry about with Martin there, even though he gets the win there, 388, he's going to have to tighten that draw up a little bit, like you said. Either that or he's going to be starting the ball way out to the right to let it come back. And that's kind of difficult to do. At least for him, though, he's got a one-way miss, so comfortable enough to do that. He's not going to miss the grid to the right very often.
Yep. And if he does, it's going to probably be just a straight block where he's like wishes that he would have hit that one straight. It's like that's your farthest ball of the day. You just hit that one 410, but you're OB by a country mile. So, Tyga Tazawa ended up having 4 out of 6 in play, 376. So he'll take second place. Mr. Borgmeyer off to a good start with 388 yards and 200 points.
We've got an interesting one here, too. Reed Russell, one of my favorite hitters out here.
Yep.
Super great guy, tons of power. If he can get it under control, he's going to be dangerous.
Baseball player, was in the Houston Astros organization.
But you got 3 good ones here, at least. Really pretty good speed guys here between Bobby, Dan, and Reed.
Yep.
And then, obviously anyone can win. So,
looking at the win, it's flight probably.
Well, look at that. Tyga was up to 386. So, pretty big number right there.
So they did okay, but confirmed Martin Borgmeyer ended up winning that set.
Yeah.
Tyga was right behind him at 376. All right, so we got Bobby Ray, Dan McIntosh, Andrew Fernandez, and Reed Russell. I like this slot a lot for Reed Russell. We're going to take a peek at his numbers right now. He is featured here. .213 actually hit a high little cut here. Not much movement at all. This thing's dead straight.
I can't tell if that's going to – it looks like it might be coming back to the left a little bit at the end there. That could be a pretty big number from Reed.
Yeah. Bobby Ray, 208, not too much movement, fighting down that left side. Not much movement on Bobby Ray's ball at all. So, like, those, he's hitting those straight. And that's what I like to see from Reed Russell. Like, no movement on his golf ball, right to left. So, that was a straight golf ball. So, he's at 67. Bobby Ray's at 369. Reed Russell hit a cut.
I know, it's crazy, right?
This is no movement either. This is
a
about
big one right there from Reed.
Yeah, and he went a little right to left on the grid, and that's been kind of the big numbers that you've seen. About 12 yards of movement.
Dan's out there at 368. So I mean, look at that, 367, 368, 369. This is a pretty close group right here.
Bobby Ray at 211. So stepping it up. Reed Russell improves. He's at 378.
So does Dan, up to 388.
Reed went after that one, it looked like. Pulled it a little bit. 216 ball speed.
Yeah, swung a little harder there.
Dan McIntosh, 388.
Reed does the
Oh my gosh.
use the LD10 also. So
Yep. So the LD or the D10 is a 190 CPM shaft.
there's another good ball in the grid from Reed. Not his best ball speed number there, but it's a good ball flight. That could work out for him.
So Dan McIntosh is in the lead right now at 388 yards. Reed Russell's in second at 378. His biggest ball speed in slot number 4 so far has been 216. But yeah, that D10's unbelievable. It's crazy. But what I like about it is, like, you don't feel like you have to fight it, and like you're not like yesterday. I wasn't sore after I hit. You know, I'm like,
no. It's more about timing than
Yep.
it is power.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Bobby Ray hit a pretty good one right there. I don't know if it's going to hang on or not. It's going to be hugging that right line, I think.
Yeah. And Bobby Ray looked good that set. You know, sitting right at about 210, 211 ball speed the entire time. Reed Russell looks like he is going to take second in this. So Dan McIntosh, 388. McIntosh looking good here. He's got 2 wins, which will put him at 400 points. So he could hit a couple bunts since he's a baseball guy, and you'll see him in the round of 32.
Survive in advance. That's what it's all about.
All right, Martin's talking, which is good. Normally when Martin's talking, he's nice and relaxed. That's the Martin Borgmeyer that I like watching.
Oh, Bobby Ray went 381 there
Oof.
on that last ball.
So Reed Russell will take third place. So Reed Russell at 150 points after 2 sets. Bobby Ray at 200. All right, we got Martin Borgmeyer, slot number 4. This will benefit his draw. He'll have a lot more room to work with here.
Yes, he does. I wouldn't mind seeing him out of slot 1 if he can aim it right. He'd have the whole grid to work with there.
Yep.
I think that'll help him out too.
On the tee now, Cody Billinghurst, Sean Johnson, Sandy Porter, Martin Borgmeyer. Gentlemen, that grid is clear. Fire away.
This is a big set for Martin. I'd really like to see him first ball go about 395. I know he's got it in him, but I think this is a big ball for him right here. First ball.
Oh, well, there's the
There's
miss
a block.
to the right.
There's a block. Yep. 209. Cody Billinghurst in slot number 1, Sean Johnson in 2, Sandy Porter in 3, and Martin Borgmeyer in slot number 4. Sean Johnson with a base hit up the middle. That would have taken the pitcher's face off. Unless it was Greg Maddux, Gold Glove winner.
Yeah,
he would have
catch
taken a 214 mile per hour, comebacker.
Let's face it, you ain't going to square it up that hard against Greg Maddux.
No.
Oh, Sean hit a good one there.
211. I mean, he likes it, but that's not his prototypical ball speed when he hits a good ball. Normally, he's right around 220. No movement, though. That was in the air for 9 seconds. Wow. Borgmeyer, 215, yelling at it. Likes it.
Not really his typical numbers either.
Listen, there's no movement there. I mean, a little
It's
bit.
gonna be a
There's about
big
20 yards, 23 yards of movement, 66 feet.
So, yeah, Sean's ended up going out 394. So, it's, like I said, ball flight is just as important as speed.
Yes, it is.
He really hit that one good, 218.
Yep.
Same kind of ball flight. That could be a really big number, too.
No movement either. 9.4 seconds.
Yeah,
of hang
13-degree
time.
launch. That's going to be a good number.
Borgmeyer, 388. Sean Johnson, 394.
There's Martin getting up to 220 right there. I think he might have gone out left with it, but picking up the speed a little bit.
Yep. Marty Borgie, 240. It's, once again, beautiful out today. The wind is picked up in the last 15 seconds. Now is the time if you're going to hit a big ball to go. We might see a 405 right now. It's picked up big time here. Big ball will put up 400 right now.
I think Martin blocked that one out a little bit.
And that's the thing with Mesquite. You gotta
Okay, so
take
that's-
advantage.
That's a high flight right there from Sean. I don't know if it's going to hang into the grid or not, but with the wind like it is, that's got a pretty good chance. And Martin just hammered one too.
All right, so Martin just hit a shot that he yelled at, but like we're looking at it right now. Let's just do pure math. He hit it 70, almost 80 yards of
I
movement.
know.
Did he start out right, and did it stay in? That's the question: is where did this
80
ball?
yards? That's moving. That's losing energy over
Yeah.
80 yards. And
Yeah.
it's not going forward, so
Yeah.
he's going to be losing distance with that big draw anyway.
Yeah. And yeah, you're just looking at guys that are hitting it straight right now, 20, 30 feet of movement, they having the big numbers. So Sean Johnson had a great set there, 4 out of 6 in play. He went 394.
No, there he goes. Martin, 405.
All right, so that Martin, like I said, sticking to the game plan of aiming out right, because, he's at 405. And, we pretty much said it. The wind picked up. You have to take advantage of the wind, and Martin got a good ball in. At 405 yards. That's why there's such a premium on hitting a lot of balls in play.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
a perfect example of it. Is that Martin Borgmeyer took full advantage of the wind, and granted, he's fast enough to get it, past whatever number Sean Johnson had, but he ended up hitting it significantly farther when he had the opportunity to hit it farther.
Oh, right. I mean, you gotta hit when the wind's blowing. That's it.
Martin Borgmeyer at 400 points. Dan McIntosh at 400. Still have a couple more sets here.
Jim Waldron just grounded out to the pitcher there. So
Maddox has got it again.
Yep. He always gets me. He always gets me at that little fake thing that he does there. That
Every time.
Takeaway.
Every
He
time.
always makes you think he's about to hit it.
Yep. We're going to take a peek at Tyga here in slot number 2. He's at 388 right off the blocks. Like it. Tyga 215.
Little pull there, maybe.
Yeah. He's fast.
Yes, he is.
Now, a couple.
A lot of
like
these
3 of the Japanese guys.
players have gained a lot of speed. I remember when back in 2013 and 14 and everything else, the Japanese players didn't really have a whole lot of speed guys. And what I've noticed over the last couple of years with guys like Tyga and them, they've gotten a lot faster.
Yeah, they were, the Japanese players are extremely accurate.
Yes, they were consistent.
Yep, very consistent, and we were thinking the same thing. Like, I mean, he said, there's 3 or 4 of the guys from Japan that are flying. I mean, it's I'm trying to think who was in my group if I could pull out the bracket. I mean, I hit with him both times. He was super fast. He was like 217. And he got in as well. So
Mato or NATO,
possibly
like that. Yeah,
possibly.
He was very, very fast.
Yeah. But Tyga's at 388 right now currently. Waldron is at 359, so he needs to improve. Brian Kelly, who's going to hit a bunch of balls in play, like I said, more than likely will win the bonus for most balls in play and potentially the longest set. I haven't seen a 5 for 6 as of yet, but I know that I think Sean Johnson just went 4 for 6. And now, about with Bryson yesterday, he had 2 sets going 6 for 6. It's just sick. I did leave him a message or whatever. Well, we're in a group thread, and I left a video saying, like, I got him. I think I hit 24 out of 30 in play, but he was swinging a little harder than me. His average ball speed was probably like 16, 17 miles per hour faster.
24 out of 30, that's...
with a D10.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, really, truly, like, that was such a fun shaft to swing. Yeah,
So,
it really, truly was.
As far as day 1 goes, you hit 21 more balls in the grid than I did.
Yeah. But Tyga right now still in the lead, 388.
Tyga's fun to watch, too.
He's the
Super
man.
nice guy, too.
Yep, he's the man. Still waiting on a last ball from Jim Waldron. He improves to 369, but Tyga Tazawa takes it down on 388. Brian Kelly, 372. Jim Waldron, 369. And Cody Albertson at 366. We're going to tune into YouTube as of right now. Let's see what everybody's going to say here. What's everybody saying? We're going to go PLDA. And once again, tip of the cap to the PLDA. This is the production has been phenomenal. We have so much technology in front of us and numbers that it makes the production significantly better. The viewership, you guys, it's a better production period at the end of the day.
The top tracer makes a big difference back there, so we can really see what's going on.
Oh, there we go. Sorry. Oh. I'm trying to find the live stream here. Is this
All
the live
right.
stream?
We'll see what Sam Judah can do here. He's got some power and some speed.
Sam Judah, Jeff Gavin, Jared Porter. Gentlemen, that grid is clear.
There we go. All right, we're live. Got almost 2,000 people on right now. Bryson hits at 3 o'clock. Who's in the booth with me? Will the Thrill, Will Hogue. Fire Marshal Will Hogue. I'm going to say, I don't know if they even had it. It was a 2018 Player of the Year. Obviously, didn't win the World Championships. Yeah, but, I mean, you literally won everything. Besides the World Championships. But Will, one of the best hitters on the planet, a guy that, was one of the first probably to hit 220. I mean, he's one of the first 10 guys, I would think, probably to hit 220. And
I think I was the first person I know to get to 155 club head speed.
Yeah.
But I can't do it anymore. A lot of people can. I cannot.
But you were 209 pounds one day and bench press 465 pounds.
Yes,
the
I did.
Tennessee state record.
Yes,
as
I
an
did.
amateur. So yeah. So did Seb get in? Sorry, when I was done with my fifth set, I ended up I had to check out of my hotel.
Seb did make it in, yes.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I said with Seb and Sam Judah, I feel like they're very similar hitters.
I think
guys,
it's gonna leak out, right?
guys that take up a lot of room left to right, and it's like if those guys can tighten it up, they're so fast that I mean, and look at Sam. I mean, he's a pro ball player. He's a guy that's gonna be able to make adjustments, and I wouldn't be surprised if someone's like, who's going to be your breakout guy? I would say it'd be Sam Judah instead.
I could see Sam Judah for sure.
Yeah,
a super fast guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Jay-Z's in the house. The GOAT has entered the chat room. Jason Zubak, 5-time Open Division world champion and world champion in the Masters division as well. Jay-Z, wish you were here, big guy. He's good. He's really good.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
And we talked about Jay-Z earlier today, and I was with Jerry James.
Jeff Gavin just murdered one.
Yeah. Let's see what Gavin's numbers are. Right now, Sam Judah's at 87, but we were talking about how impressive it was, Jay-Z winning 4 titles in a row, and the amount of pressure that you have at a world championship when it's double elimination. Like, you have to be on your game immediately. And they would talk about tour events where they would have, 4 balls, and it was single elimination, So, it shows you how good Jay-Z was at hitting a lot of balls in play, under pressure, because double elimination formats, completely different animal. And like I said, someone like Bryson DeChambeau would probably be, him and Kyle and JJ, they're the favorites regardless. But oh my God, just imagine Bryson in a double elimination format.
Ridiculous, because he's not going to miss.
Yep. So, but right now Sam Judah is at 387. Gavin,
he has a good one down the middle. We're going to have to see what the number comes back. But he hit a good one on that last ball right down the middle. Yeah, the other thing with Zubak, one of the friendliest people you will ever meet.
Yep.
Reached out to me a lot in 2018, actually helped me a lot in 2018 also. He'd reach out and say, hey, you're starting to do this, you need to quit doing that, or why are you doing that? Very, very helpful. Just a great guy.
Yes. I remember last year I was fighting to get back to 200 ball speed. I was a little too skinny, and Jay-Z, I got 2 weeks to get faster, and he sent me an entire speed routine, what have you, and I actually got up to about 203 ball speed.
He actually, when I was doing the bench press stuff, he even called me and took an interest in my doing the bench press stuff and was trying to help me out with stuff like that. 'Cause, he was obviously a big lifter guy, so he's a super big, strong guy.
Yeah, Jay-Z talking about Tiger uses hand path length to maximize advantage, more time to exert force. Tiger's is dialed in. You look at his setup, he lines up so far off the ball with his driver head, but he's a master at his craft. That's been practicing the same thing over and over and over again, similar to someone like a Colton Casto. Because when you see Colton for the first time, it's like the dude's striding, but he's done it tens of thousands of times to where he's got that synced up. And that was the one thing that we were kind of worried about with Kyle. I mean, Kyle just coming off of surgery. This is the 22nd day after surgery.
Well, and you can tell Kyle's not quite as sharp as he normally is. You can tell.
Can't practice.
And he's not as sharp as normal, but he's getting the job done. 1,000 points a day.
He won 5 sets in a row, and he barely, and he didn't hit one single golf ball after his set. So he sat there literally in the shade under the tent, a couple feet from the tee box, and just took a couple dry swings, and it's just impressive. And the fact that Kyle's even here is amazing. So, and it's hard to say he's not the favorite. I mean, even though he's hurt. I mean, Yeah, like yesterday it was kind of iffy. Like we're like, after watching him the first day, like you can tell like he was in pain, even though he probably said that he wasn't hurting. He was definitely hurting. And yesterday, just he said it was like his hand was like the size of a tennis ball. Just the swelling right around the palm.
Reed's in at 369 on the first one. This is a big set for him. Getting the second and the third place. Reed needs a big set here.
Yeah, because the win would get him to 350, and he could take a second and technically even a third and be right at 500 points.
He needs a big. This is a big set for him.
And he's going up against Sean Johnson. So Sean Johnson currently is at 300 points. So yeah, this is a big set for Reed Russell.
384, so he upped it there. So that's a pretty big ball right now. 384 is not bad. The wind's not blowing quite as hard as it was earlier, so.
We're going to try to key in here on slot number 1 with Reed Russell.
Oh, there's a big ball right there.
And this is not his prototypical ball speed. He's a guy that, that's normally in the 220s. But right now, what I really like about Reed Russell is the fact that he doesn't have much movement in his golf ball.
It's a beautiful flight. That was a good ball right there. So I wouldn't be surprised if that goes even farther than the 384. That's going to be a big number.
Yep. So 389. Reed Russell
so
and Cody Albertson. And I was really, Cody, when I watched him swing, he doesn't take it back very far, but his hands are lightning fast. And he has kind of like a short finish, so it kind of fools you a little bit. It's like he doesn't look like he's swinging fast, but he is absolutely moving the golf ball. Boom.
It's funny, Sean Johnson's the same way with that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 217 ball speed, but it looks spinny to me.
Yep.
Which downwind, that's not going to matter too much, but
162 feet left to right on that one.
It looked a little spinny.
This one's getting tight here. Reed Russell, 389. How about this? 4 out of 4 in play from Reed Russell. Sean Johnson, 385. Cody Albertson, 384. And Jacob Ignite still working on a number here.
Reed just melted one. I can't see the ball speed number on it, but that's a beautiful ball flight.
208, about 20 yards of movement right to left.
And he's hitting a beautiful ball flight today.
Yep. And that's something that I'm looking at right now I really like with Reed Russell is the fact that he's hitting it straight pretty much. He's just a little bit of movement compared to those big sweeping hooks that he's accustomed to hitting.
I really think, honestly, a slower ball speed with a straight flight is going to produce every bit as good a number as a 220 with a big hook.
Yep. Let's see if Sean Johnson improves. He's at 385 right now. And they're going to wait to probably put an underline under that number just because Cody Albertson's at 384. And they're going to have to measure.
I did not see Sean's last ball.
Tiger. 350 yards. 54, waiting on Sean Johnson's last ball. Tiger, let's go. Good set for Reed Russell.
Absolutely.
5 out of 6 in play. I'm going to say that's going to be a bonus right there for longest.
Most likely. Because
6 out of 6 doesn't happen very often. I might have done that twice today. But when you're swinging as slow as I am, it's not that hard. But for me, I just knew with that shaft setup that I had, I could literally aim down the left side of the grid and just block it the entire time, Yeah. And, it's almost like I felt like the grid was 120 yards wide. So, but that shaft, once again, is so much fun. Shout out to Jason Oradesky at Patterson or Kinetics for making literally 190 CPM shaft work,
Absolutely.
For all different types of swing speeds. You literally could swing 65 miles per hour or 155 and be able to control it. The spin, the launch, it's really, really fun shaft to hit. And you got to have to trust it too. It's tough. When you probably went out with your first set hitting this thing, and for me, I knew my first set with that, I was like, oh my gosh, I got to go to something else. This is impossible to hit. And then it's just all right, I've trained a little bit with this thing, slow everything down, let your hand set, and then go, and then
I committed to it for 3 months.
Yeah.
It took me 3 months to get to where I was comfortable taking that out to the grid, just because of how flimsy and whippy it is. If you don't time it right, it will not work.
Nope.
But you have to be very patient.
Yep. And that's I think that really started with Kyle back in 2019 in Rochester. He decided to go to the 240 CPM, the LD 30 plus.
Yeah.
and he ended up sweeping the entire tournament, went 17 for 17, and it looks like there is a shift where a lot of the guys are going to a softer setup, and very rarely do you see guys right now hitting 275, 290 CPM shafts. Someone like Ryan Winter, there's Winter's swinging a light pole, still, and he's like I said, he muscles through that golf ball. So his ball flight, he just is penetrating really well, and it was nice to see Winter out on the tee box today. Got to hit with him, and he advanced as well. So like I said, that was just a murderer's row of hitters, in that round of 16. Just it's fun to be a part of, and the guys are just progressively getting better and better and better, and it's nice to see. Guys that have been around for a while, coming back. Like we hadn't seen Mitch Grassing in a while.
Oh, Tyga just yelled.
Tyga, let's see what he's got. 214.
Looks like
a
pretty
little
good
bit of
ball
movement
flight.
right to left, but he's in slot number 3, so
That's
he
not
can
a
take
bad
it more
shot
room.
there.
Yep.
And Reed did end up winning that last set, so
Yep.
that was a big one for him there. Gets him
Yep.
to 350, so as long as he hits the grid, he should be good.
Yep. So we got Bobby Ray here in slot number 4. I'm looking at his grip and shaft setup right now.
Tyga liked that one too.
It looks like Bobby Ray has made an adjustment in club because I know that he was hitting, he was more of like a House of Forge brute guy, and right now it looks like he's going to a softer setup, whether it's the LD30 Plus or the D10, the Patterson. But I think he's got the Callaway, the XR16 too.
That was a good club right there. The
I used it today.
XR16 was
Awesome.
I won a lot of tournaments with the XR16.
Yes. I was telling the guys from Callaway today, I was like, you need to bring that thing back.
Man, that thing was great.
440cc head. Taika Dezawa 385 and 390. Jared Forder's at 377. Bobby Ray still working on a number. We'll take a peek at his ball speeds right here. Got his hands to
He was
set
a little
there.
patient there. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
much more patient there. He kind of rushed his first few swings, it looked like, and that one he was much more patient with. I liked that swing a lot better.
159 feet in the air, 8.5 seconds of hang time, not much movement at all.
Got a little bit of downwind right now, so we should see some bigger numbers this set.
This would be one where if I'm Bobby Ray, I'm going to try to pop it in the air a little bit longer. Tyga's
Yeah, I
still,
think he listened
still
to you because
yep.
he did.
Yep, 389 or 384. We got Tyga at 390. So right now, slot 4 and slot 3 are going to have a slight advantage just because they have a little bit more room to work with here. It's down and cross right to left, probably 4 or 5 mile per hour of wind.
Tyga just hit another good one right there.
Tyga 215,
15
not much
degree
movement.
launch.
This
That's
one's
gonna be
a little
good
bit tighter dispersion as well compared to his 390. In the air for 9 seconds,
Yeah.
15 launch.
Bobby Ray hit a good one right there too.
That's a dead
It's still-
pull. Bobby Ray, dead pull, dead straight. This is just strictly a pull from the far right spot, and that's been the ball. That's been the ball in slot number 4 is just a dead pull. So we'll see what that number is because it goes right over the top of the crown in the middle of the grid and rolls out left. And Lance Reeder said Justin James rolled one between 40 and 50 yards
wow.
the first day. So there is some rollout. So did Bobby,
395
there
right
you
there.
go. That ball that that was
That was the perfect shot
Yep.
from slot 4.
dead
that's
pull.
exactly
Yeah,
what
I
you
said
want
that
there.
was like no, there's no way that fifth ball was farther than. All right, so Bobby Ray, there it is, hit a dead pull.
I'm still waiting to see Tyga's ball that came back though. He had that one up in the air, 215 ball speed downwind. That could be a big number.
Didn't move either. It was just a little bit of movement. So the one that he hit 390 had more movement right to left, and this one was definitely tighter. And mentioned
393. So
393.
Bobby Ray is going to take it down with that shot.
that 35, 40 seconds, the last set, was the difference in yardages. The wind picked up. Bobby Ray took full advantage of it and ended up winning the set.
Well, that's it's hitting the shot at the right time, like we
Yep.
talked about earlier. The wind picked up, and he hit a nugget right there when the wind picked up, and that's kind of as weird as it is to say you have to pay attention when you're out there because you're trying to focus on what you're doing, but you got to pay attention when you're out there too.
I feel like it's almost like cheating for me. Like I got to go out and compete. Too bad, I couldn't break glass today with my ball speed. But yeah, being here, sitting in the booth, and being able to watch ball flight numbers. You're kind of guessing, I guess, like for the first couple sets of what works. But now you could just know in slot number 4, if you can hit a straight pull, that's the ball, just right over the middle of the grid, hitting that crown and kicking left. Cody Billinghurst in slot number 4, Sam Judah, Andrew Fernandez, Brian Kelly. So Bobby Ray takes down the set. He's got 400 points with 2 sets to go. Longest ball of the day so far is Martin Borgmeyer at 405 yards. Dan McIntosh at 397.
Looks like Sam had a decent one right there.
What I really like to see about Sam is the fact that he's hitting balls in play right away, very similar to Colton Casto. And I say for me, like, my concerns with Sam the first day, even though he won every set, was his accuracy. And he's coming right out the blocks, just like Colton Casto, hitting balls in play. First ball, 394. So Sam is looking really good. So if that's your dark horse to win this thing, Sam Judah's right there.
Downwind, Sam's gonna, with that cut he hit, Sam's going to be hard to beat. If the wind turns back into the face, that might hurt him a little bit.
Yep. Brian Kelly, 383. Cody Billinghurst, 375. You are going to see bigger numbers right now because we are moving more downwind. I'm not going to say there's much of an advantage at all on the tee box. We're looking at the wind going straight downwind, maybe a degree or two left. Right to left, not much. Got 2,000 in right now on
Cody just hit a good one
on YouTube. So Jay-Z's talking about, just the equipment and the average ball speed's higher now, but he saw Sadlowski go 225 back in 2008, 2009.
That's ridiculous.
Jamie just, it was.
Jamie was a different breed.
It's my favorite swing. His swing was money. And then I said the second favorite swing is like Eddie Fernandez right now. I love Eddie's swing.
Yeah.
And
so simple.
But for me, Mobley, I always love. I could sit there and watch Dave Mobley hit golf balls all day, every day, and he got on a flight out of Atlanta, so he was able to get out of Fort Myers. Huge Hurricane Ian, barreling through, but Mobley was able to get out, and he'll be in here competing against Eddie and Gavin. So, but right now, Sam Judah with 3 balls in the 90s.
Yeah,
he's looking good. Brian Kelly, as expected, just going to hit a million balls in play. Yeah, and I said that's predictable.
I'm not sure, but I think you might get your 6 for 6 here.
So we got Cody Billinghurst. Cody Billinghurst likes the ball.
Yeah, hit a good ball right there. 202 ball speed.
Yeah.
We'll see.
BK, 6 for 6.
Yeah, so that's definitely going to be a performance bonus right there.
Well, I have to beg to differ. Cody Billinghurst just said, I just went 390 on you there, big guy. So I'm not the best at math.
He went 6 for 6 too.
Yeah, look at this. That's going to be close. I see a 390. I think Brian hit, I don't know. It's going to be close as far as total yardage. But
I think Cody's got more total yardage there just from looking
pull
at
out
the
the
numbers.
old calculator here.
Well, I see a 390 and 3 in the 370s. And I see a 350 and 3 360s over here on Brian. So I'm thinking Cody's going to have the long set there.
Cody's got it. He does.
Well, how about that?
2 guys going 6 for 6. Like I said, Brian Kelly, that's to be expected. That kid just doesn't miss the center of the face. He is such a good ball striker.
Brian Kelly, 383, and Andrew Fernandez, 382.
And so once you got guys like that are ball strikers that pick a spot in the grid, like they're not missing. It's just a matter of hitting the center of the club face, and maybe working on trying to hit a little bit higher or lower. But
Dan McIntosh, Jim Waldron, gentlemen, that grid is clear. Fire away.
I'll be interested to see the matchup here between Martin and Dan. That'll be a good little match.
People asked about Drew Cooper. It'd have been nice to see Drew Cooper out here. That guy swings amazing. I mean, he's smooth at like 210. Probably even he's faster than that. But we got Dan McIntosh off of 2 wins here in slot number 3. We got two Canadians on the tee box. Martin Borgmeyer from Munich, Germany. And Jim Waldron from Scottsdale, Arizona.
Dan's got the good ball flight going again. Those look like they're leaking a little bit, his first 2 there. I haven't seen one from Martin yet. But slot 1, he should have plenty of room if he aims right. He can use the whole grid.
215. This is just based off of what we're looking at right now as we talked about the block. He just hit it dead straight, but he blocked it right. So that one's going to go OB. 9.5 seconds in the air. 18-degree launch.
That's incredibly high.
Yeah. I mean, just imagine getting down, 20, 25-mile-per-hour winds like we had back in 2014. That was fun.
That was fun.
I literally just tried to hit a golf ball as high as I possibly could that day.
Oh, Martin smoked that one.
Marty Borghi 240, not much movement. Right to left, 218 mile per hour. This one's right down the boulevard, maybe a little bit left of center.
That's gonna be a big number right there.
Yep. Waldron with a nice ball, like nice flat pull here in slot number 4. That's the ball that you want to hit in that slot. So interested to see how much Jim Waldron puts up. Based off ball speed, I'm going to say he's probably around in the mid-70s, or like maybe 80.
I think that's a good guess.
73. There we go. We're good at this. Martin Borgmeyer,
It's almost like
223.
we've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, we've been doing it for a minute. I always say Wilt is my kryptonite. He beats me every time. Every time.
By like 2 yards, too.
I remember the one year, it was just like 2017 and 18. It's like the last ball came down the last ball. I'm like, Will got me. But, yeah.
Yeah,
I look different
Carly was
now.
talking the other day. She's like, Bobby made it pretty far into the World Championship one year, didn't he? I was like, yeah.
He tried getting me drunk the night before because me and you had heads-up matches. And that was something that was a lot of fun, man. Like,
Well, no, she was like, he made the final eight. I was like, I promise you that he didn't.
No,
She's
no.
like, well, how do you know? I was like, because I'm the one that ended the season.
well, actually, JJ ended the season. You got me in the first. You beat me in the first. It was a double elimination
Oh,
heads-up
that's right.
match.
That's right.
So
It
you
sure
got
was.
me, and then I went up against Mitch, and then Jeff Flagg, and then I went up against JJ, who ended up taking it down that year.
Well, that's a surprise for me right there to see Dan go OB. His swing's been so under control this whole time. I'm kind of surprised
Well,
at that.
I'm not going to say I'm surprised, and the reason why is like when you do that many exhibitions, he's got a lot of swings under his belt,
Yes,
and
he does.
and it really truly takes a toll on you. And I mean, I actually felt fresh. I don't ever hit anymore. So, but when you do that many exhibitions, you really your stamina is not as good as you want it to be. And I couldn't even tell you. I don't even know how many events he's hit in this year, but I can guarantee he's probably getting closer to 100.
Oh, I'm
So,
sure. Yeah.
he really has to focus on slowing everything down because if he's at 100% health, I mean, Dan's not going to miss the center of the club face. But Gavin got a ball in, so he's going to get 50 points out of that. But Borgmeyer takes down the set. He's got 3 wins. He's at 600, 394. And Waldron ended up taking second place, 373. So let's take a peek at the top 8. Martin Borgmeyer, Sam Judith, Dan McIntosh, Bobby Ray, Sean Johnson, Tyga DeZauer, Reed Russell, and Cody Billinghurst. Billinghurst is in at 250 points after 3 full sets. And the guys looking in right now are Brian Kelly and Jim Waldron at 200. This is the start of set number 4, Group 3.
Tiger hit a little toe shot there, kind of leaked out to the right.
16 guys have already punched their ticket to the round of 32 already today. 16 hitters right now. They're going to take 8. So 32 guys are going to advance out of today's round 2. And tomorrow 32 guys are going to
Tiger
hit.
just hit a bomb right there.
216. Not much movement.
A little too much to the left, in my opinion, but it's going to be in the grid. So that's going to be a good number. But 191 feet of movement, I mean, that's 60 yards.
Yes, it is. 63.6666667.
There's that high school education.
Yesterday we were talking to Bryson, and it was funny.
Jeff just hit a really, I think that was Jeff. Yeah, Jeff just hit a really good one.
Yeah, I'm wearing the 150-year open hat, and I'm walking with Bryson inside the ropes on Wednesday, and he goes, "Hey, what's putt?" He's on the putting green. He's like, "What's 3% of 8?" And I'm like, 0.24, and he goes, "No, dude." He's talking about something completely different, and it was 13.2. And then he was saying something about where he needed to aim.
So a 3% slope on an 8-foot putt.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah,
How
Gavin,
do I know
big
that
number.
you don't,
Yeah.
Bobby? I'm not even a golfer.
I'm not either. I'm a drive the green and 3 putt for par. Jeff Gavin 396, Reed Russell 384, Cody Billinghurst 360. Reed Russell sitting at 350. A win would get him in at 550 points. Tyga DeZauer was at 381. So these guys can move it. And like I said, Jeff Gavin drinks from the fountain of youth.
396 for Jeff Gavin.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's just ridiculous.
So Gavin wins this set. He'd be at 325. So he would more than likely have to go win. Potentially there's an outside shot of him taking a second place in the final set to be at 425 points.
That can get it done in some rounds. That's gotten it done. 400 got it done in the round I was in today.
Yeah, like
so,
I remember when you stepped up to the tee box yesterday. You didn't even have to hit, and you're at 400 points. You're
Right.
already in.
And 400 got through in my group
Yep.
again today.
Yep. Yep.
So, based on the reactions, I didn't see Tyga's last ball. I heard him yell, but I don't think Reed loved his. So Jeff might sneak through here.
Up on the team in slot 1, Andrew Fernandez.
I hope so. I love Jeff. Super great dude.
He's the man.
Slot 3, Jim Waldron.
I'll never forget
Slot
one of the
4,
first times I met him in
Sean
2013. He had a video. He had killed a moose,
Porter,
and he was just
Brian
dragging it.
With his
He-
bare hands.
He had it with one hand, and he was dragging it. And I was like, that's a big animal to move.
Yeah.
And he's just walking through. He's just dragging it. It was at that point I realized I wanted to be like Jeff Gavin when I grew up.
Still waiting on 2 numbers from Cody Billinghurst. Cody Billinghurst is on, air quotes, the bubble right now in 8th place. He's going
So-
to improve because he does have balls in play, but he's going to take.
So that second place for, Tiger's
He's
last
gonna-
ball went out. So
he's-
second place for Reed, that should probably get him good.
Yeah, well, Reed's going to be at 450, so a ball in play will probably get him at 475. And
Well,
Cody
realistically, if Reed hits one in play, he's probably not coming to 4th either.
yeah, correct.
So, I mean, very rarely does Reed hit one in play and get last.
Yeah. They're still looking at it. It seems like they're looking for Tyga's ball right now because he doesn't have an underline under the 381. So there might be a ball that's farther. And this happened. I can say it. It happened to me. They put me up at 369 first ball of the day, and I'm like, I know I didn't hit that 369. And
408
there
from
it is,
Tyga on
boom.
that last ball.
there you go. No, they were looking, like I
Oh,
said,
they were- okay,
the
I got you.
408. So, yep. There you go. So that's the longest ball of the day from Taika Tazawa. Slot number 1 and slot number 4, the ball looks exactly the same, but there is a green stripe in slot number 4. And that was the holdup in my set when I hit, because there was like 4 of us at 369, and I wish I was at 369. I was actually at 345. I didn't want to admit that.
396, Reed Russell, 384.
But I did call Bryson and said that I went 24 for 30. Because he went 22 for 30 yesterday. So it was, and his team's like, hey, Bryson went 22.
I mean, 22 for 30, that's crappy.
Yeah,
Bryson's got to step it up. He's got to do better.
he looked awesome. He really did.
He really did.
He did. And I said Borgmeyer, Sam Judah looking great. I mean, those guys are practiced together out in Dallas. I know that Sam came on board to do a show with Regicy as like a fan, and they said his first day he was 217
That's
as a fan.
ridiculous.
You know, like, oh, okay, well, you're one of the fastest guys on the planet. Let's get you into long drive. And so, Sam's been able to practice with Martin and Bryson when Bryson's in town. So you got some good guys to learn from. Andrew Fernandez, Jared Forder, Jim Waldron, Sean Johnson.
Yeah, I would tell you if the wind turns in, I think Bryson has to be the favorite in this tournament. If the wind turns in, downwind you got a lot of guys, but into the wind, a guy that can control his flight while still swinging hard like that's going to make him so hard to beat.
That's why it's important to get to the final 8 because it's single elimination from there.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
can't-
he can win in any condition, but into the wind, I feel like he has the advantage.
Sean Johnson, 385 yards to start off in slot number 4. Not much wind really at all, couple mile per hour downwind. Taika Tazawa with the longest ball of the day at 408 yards. And as I said, there has been really no wind. We haven't had any like crazy gusts of wind where you're going to see, 430s, 440s. In March, guys were in at 450, 460. Brady went, I think, 460. Torbit,
It
who's
was
going to
good
be
to see
hitting.
Brady out here this year.
Love Brady. He's the man.
I was happy to see Brady.
My
out here.
guy. Take a peek at. If you guys have any questions, it's Bobby Bradley and Will Hogue sitting in the booth.
Sean Johnson just hammered one, 217 ball speed. It might leak out right. It's gonna be pretty close.
Anthony Thomas, what's up, bro? I like how Anthony a couple days ago was like, I'm driving to San Diego. Who's coming with me from Portland? And he's like, I got you. I'm gonna pay for your expenses. I just want to see if the internet's gonna just say yes and someone rolled me down to San Diego. So I'd love to know how that went, Anthony. Anthony Thomas, another guy that if he's in this field as a threat to run deep in a tournament and get to the final 16. I know he had a really good 2019 year. And if I recall, he was down to the last couple sets where he had a crack at the final 16. So Anthony Thomas, great hitter. Hello, wherever you are. I'm guessing you're either in San Diego or Portland. Mitchell Dobbin, hello. Jason Zubak is in the house.
This is a
And
big
yeah,
set
yeah.
here for
So
Jim.
I just see
Sean just murdered another one.
Sean Johnson, 389.
I think that's a more penetrating flight than the first two he hit. I wouldn't be surprised to see this one go farther.
Some good numbers out here. Jared Forder's at 373. He's sneaky too. Jared Forder's really sneaky.
Jim Waldron with the big number there at 388.
Jim knows how to win. Ended up winning the XLD last year out in Chicago. And he might have competed once or twice. Sean Johnson, 406. Good call there from Will Hogue.
Andrew Fernandez comes in at 392 there.
Yep. And the wind is, he said picked up a little bit. Nothing too crazy though. All right, take a look.
Sean Johnson, he's an interesting baseball guy. Played ball at Ole Miss. You can definitely tell with his swing that he was a baseball guy.
Oh yeah, pitcher. Tall, long levers.
Super fast hands.
406 yards. Sean Johnson.
So Anthony Thomas is on a plane right now. I love it. I love it. And we got Robbie Peterson writing everybody as well. Yeah, Robbie has done such a great job. From us starting, the PLDA, the players, at Bobby's at One Stop Power Shop to being here now at the World Championships for the second time. This is the production's phenomenal, and a lot of it has to do with Robbie Peterson doing all the behind-the-scenes work. And as we said, everybody's favorite announcer, but he didn't want to announce today. He didn't want the fame. He didn't want it.
No, I understand that.
He doesn't want the smoke, the fame, right? The smoke and fame. All right. We're getting closer to the fifth set.
So I don't know what just happened here. They said the grid was clear, and then they told him to hold up. So something's going on. Not exactly sure what it is.
All right, so McIntosh, he's going to have to reset here. The good thing is that he had 2 wins, and he just really has to slow everything down. And like I said, doing that many exhibitions puts a toll on your body. It really, truly does. And it almost teaches you how to just be really in control of your swing, but it doesn't really get you to swing fast. It's like the worst thing for you.
I actually feel like, if anything, it might teach you to swing slow. The wind really just picked up, but I think it might teach you to swing slower because you're trying to hit a good ball for these people and everything else. So you're not as you can't make 200 full swings in a day. Your body just won't let you
fall apart
unless you're Kyle Berkshire and just do whatever you want. But
they said the crazy thing is that he broke his hand on a 50, 60 yard pitch. Right when he hit the ground, he's just like, the club went, and I'm like, oh boy. And you just knew it wasn't good right away, and he's still he's like, I'm still hitting, I don't care. In that tournament.
Dan leaked out a little bit there. He's starting to leak his hips forward a little bit, and I think that's why he's not able to quite shut the face.
Yep.
That shot's getting a little loose over there, turning to the left.
Yep.
If he'll just settle it down a little bit, maybe let the hands settle a little more, I think he'd do fine.
He's got a great base. I mean, he looks really good, addressing a golf ball. And like I said, just maybe a little quick.
That one looked better.
84 feet in the air,
I'm
movement.
with you. It's just a little snappy at the top. If he'd be a little more deliberate at the top, I think he'd hit that good ball flight he was hitting earlier.
Yep.
Just got to be a little patient. I mean, that's one of the things people talk about with, you hit the 48-inch club. The biggest difference I tell people is you just have to be more patient and letting the club get to its final destination.
That one looked much better.
That did look better.
Dan
There you go.
McIntosh.
That's a better shot.
80 feet in the air, 206. And normally we'd be like, that 80 feet's way too low, but you know what? That's working this week. It really, truly is. No movement whatsoever. Ball in the air for 7.3 seconds.
Well, biggest thing for him, I think he has 2 in the grid right now.
Yep.
And so that's kind of, after going OB to come back and hit the grid, that's a big confidence booster. I bet he'll start. There it is.
There's it. It's a 380.
There it is.
Yep. So McIntosh
He's
back in
another
action.
good one right there. So like I said, you get those first 2 or whatever to go into the grid, it kind of settles you down, then you can start swinging again.
Mm-hmm.
This is a big set for Brian Kelly too. If he wants to advance, he's gonna want to get a win. At worst case, the second place for him here.
BK's at 200 points right now. So a win in the second place will give him 500 points.
Dan just hit a real good one right there too.
Still, I don't have a number back from Dan's third ball. I mean, it possibly was a little too low, but it was dead straight, so no movement. 374. So yeah, I would say if we're getting picky now, Dan needs to hit it just maybe a little bit higher.
Yeah, I would agree with that, especially downwind. You're going to want to float it up a little bit.
So Brian Kelly, slot number 2, ended up. It was the Endless Summer Invitational, the name of it, and it changed this year. The MB Invitational took third about a week and a half ago in LA.
That's
So-
a really good ball from Brian right there.
McIntosh back in action, making an adjustment, slowing it down. 386 yards now, putting a lot of balls in play. And now with McIntosh going to be at potentially 600 points, he can kind of save the legs for tomorrow.
Top of the tee, finishing off.
And that's what I really like about this structure. It gives guys enough time to recover.
Yeah, you can recover.
You're going to hit 30 balls, and I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but a lot of these guys are, I didn't hit very many in between sets. I don't think I really have, but there's a lot of guys that will go out there and they need to consistently keep hitting golf balls on the range to stay loose. And as time goes on, when you're doing one-day events and you hit 14 sets and however many balls in the range, you feel like you're hit by a car. So at least here, with this format, you can just stay in a rhythm and hit 30 balls in competition and rest and relax and drink a bunch of water, rehydrate, get massaged, get stretched out, and then get ready for it again tomorrow.
I celebrated my day today with a nice old-fashioned when I got back to the room.
Of course. Believe me, I wanted to give you about 50 of those things a couple years ago.
But it'll be nothing but water for the rest of the day, though. So Brian put himself in position. If he can win the last set, he's got a chance to move on. Dan solidified his. He's moving through now at 600 points. That should be good.
So you'll see Martin Borgmeyer, Sam Judah up next, and it looks like Cody Albertson and
Martin and Sam are both already through, so that they can just have fun for the rest of the day. At 600 points already, 2 sets left to go. They can just have fun.
And it's a confidence booster. I mean, Sam hasn't had that much grid time. I mean, he's a rookie, and for him to win 8 sets in a row, he's got to boost his confidence. And he's a baseball guy. I mean, he's just he's laid back. He's been in this situation before. No, he hasn't been in a world championship in a long drive tournament, but he plays professionally.
It doesn't matter. The guy that's played sports at the level he's played at, this isn't going to throw him off.
He's relaxing. He's chilling. And
this isn't going to throw him. In fact, it probably makes him better.
Yes, correct. So right now we're still waiting on. I don't know. We're waiting on the grid or.
Yeah,
Sandy Porter. We got one more ball from Sandy Porter, but Sandy's got 4 balls in play. Yeah, and it was at 333 yards. So they have closed out that set. Dan McIntosh ended up winning.
Dan McIntosh 386 yards, followed by Brian Kelly.
Brian Kelly took second place.
374.
Take a peek. If you guys have any questions, fire away. Will Hogan, Bobby Bradley sitting in the booth. 2,300 on board right now. YouTube, thanks for tuning in. It's been awesome.
Gentlemen, that grid is clear. Fire away.
So how many are left to hit in this set? 1, 2, 3, just 4?
So what was that?
So this is the last group for this
Yeah,
set?
this is it. Group 4.
It's looking like our bubble number for this round. It's looking like 400 points.
Sam Judah, slot 4, barely hit this ball in the air, but that ball was moving. 218. That was a Justin James ball right there. Curious to see what this number is going to be if this ball is in play. But Sam looks great. He really does.
Yeah, super fast hands.
Yep. So them pro ball players. Yeah, he went OB on that first ball. Borgmeyer just hit a moon ball. Hit it 18 degrees of launch, 214, about 15 yards of movement. That's right. Pretty much looks like he might actually hit a little cut there.
It looked like a little cut.
Little cutty.
I'll be interested to see what the number on that one is. I can't even begin to guess that one. I'm going to, 374. I was going to say maybe closer to 380 or 390.
So Sam Judah is just hitting absolute missiles right now, but he's hitting he's hitting a pole, which is the ball, but he's pulling it too much. He's swinging out left like 4 degrees instead of 2. So now, swing 2 degrees left.
Yeah, swing 2 degrees left.
Or aim outright and then
Bobby Ray just hit a good nuke right there.
374 Martin Borgmeyer. Bobby Ray, big set for Bobby Ray. He's at 400 points, so if he takes a second or first, he's in at 600. Look at the log jam we have here at 600 points.
That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking the bubble, and Brian Kelly's sitting in there right now at 300 points at 8th place. So I'm thinking that bubble might end up being the 400, 425 number.
Yeah. Martin's like, how am I still on the lead?
Sam
Yeah.
and Martin jawing at each
And
other.
then
That's
Sam
priceless.
told him to shut up. So,
Bobby
like-
Ray, he's not in the lead anymore. Bobby Ray took it at 379.
yeah, I know. That's a big set for Bobby Ray right now because that'll solidify him at 600 points and get him in. I told Bobby yesterday when we were about to go hit, I was like, if I beat you, I'll never let you let it down. And sure enough, I beat him by a yard. And I will talk about it again. So he'll
Never
let
let him forget, right?
the greatest ball I've ever hit in my entire life.
I don't know.
I-
The ball you hit against me in Mexico was pretty good.
I cannot believe that. I hit a good ball, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I think would you hit it like 420 something, and then the wind picked up against Joe Miller, and you hit it 483 or something like that. That was sick. I might have had. I think.
So I think Bobby Ray might have taken that one.
Yeah.
So that's good for him. That's going to get him through to tomorrow. So I believe this is Bobby Ray's first year at Worlds. Isn't
Yes,
it?
it is.
So that's a nice
it is.
to advance into that group. First year out. That's really good.
All right, Sam Judah's first loss of the entire tournament, 367 yards. But you know what? He hit two really, really good balls that were just, like I said, he swung left a little too hard, but his face was square at impact. So
Yeah, he's a jerk. He clipped me by a yard day one. So
all right, big set for Bobby Ray right there. Got a W. He's at 600 points. So the guys that you're going to see tomorrow, 100%, Sean Johnson, Tyga Dezawa, Martin Borgmeyer, Dan McIntosh, Sam Judah, Bobby Ray. Those guys are in, no doubt.
yeah, no doubt. They're
No doubt,
definitely
they're
through.
in. So the guys that are on the bubble as of right now is Reed Russell. But with my high school education, if Reed Russell takes second or better, he's in.
Guaranteed.
If Brian Kelly wins, he's in. So if Reed Russell took second and Brian Kelly takes first, no one can catch them. No one.
Realistically, Reed just has to hit the grid.
Yep.
If he hits the grid, he's probably in.
Yep.
Because I think, looking at the numbers, I mean, Cody Billinghurst is at 275, so, I mean, he'd have to win to go to 475. So Cody Billinghurst has to win his group in order for Reed to even be out. So Reed might be pretty good already. Not that Cody can't win. He can definitely move it. So that's definitely a possibility. But if Reed hits the grid here, I think he's set.
If Lawn Driver were a movie, what would it be? Major League.
For sure.
Yeah. That's good. I like that. Good question there. A lot of guys talking about the golf ball. My favorite golf ball was a Pinnacle Gold FX Long, but I will do this for the fourth time now.
Jeff Gavin, 211, right down Main Street. That's a big one.
Yep, and Gavin's putting up. I mean, he put up a 397 earlier today. I mean, curious. You say Gavin still has an outside chance. I mean, Reed Russell could take fourth place or go OB. Gavin can slide in there if Waldron and Billinghurst don't have a good set, or Brian Kelly.
I was going to say, you got to think, if Gavin wins, he'd get a 425, which means Brian would have to win to knock him out. A second place wouldn't do it.
So
this is a big set for Gavin. A win here puts him in a pretty good position.
yes. I'm fired. And then you said Cody Billinghurst, if he wins his set, would be at 475. Jim Waldron wins his set, he'd be at 450. So a couple things have to go Gavin's way, but
you'd have to think some of these people are going to have to be hitting against each other too, though.
Yep.
So Gavin just murdered another one. Not the best ball speed there from him, 201, but he liked it. So.
If I'm making predictions, you're going to see Gavin and Eddie Fernandez in the Masters Division Finals. If the ground hardens up, obviously Mobley's going to be there. I was going to say,
you can never count Mobley out, not out on this grid.
Nope. And Zach Adams is making his World Championship debut in the Masters Division. John Graves is someone who I really, really like a lot. He looked great, a former professional baseball player as well, who puts a bunch of balls in play. You got T-Pep, T-Pep that's won a World Championship that hits a lot of balls in play as well. I know that I'm missing Ryan Gerhardt. I'm looking forward to seeing the Masters Division. Always fun to watch those guys get after it. But Eddie Fernandez the last month is creeping up big time.
Eddie Fernandez has gotten fast. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Talk about the fountain of youth.
Yeah, he ended up switching shafts to those TPT shafts, and he was using a prototype, a 39-gram shaft that was actually stable enough, and he where he doesn't have a recoil. So a lot of times when you see shafts that are that light and you have a recoil, those things are disintegrating and going into the stands or you're breaking them.
I think Jeff Gavin might have just pulled off the miracle there.
Gavin's at 425, so which is going to put a lot of pressure on Brian Kelly to win the set.
Yes,
Cody
it is.
Billinghurst has to win, and Jim Waldron has to win. So if BK, Cody Billinghurst, or Jim Waldron do not win their sets, Jeff Gavin's going to slide in. So Gavin is on, and we'll say Reed Russell can go OB. I mean, it's possible. So
I don't know. It's anything's possible.
Anything's possible.
He's hitting it good today, though. I don't think he will.
No.
I would be surprised.
Gavin steps up, goes 385.
Results from that last set, Jeff Gavin, 385 yards, followed by Edgar Fernandez, 361, Cody Albertson, 354, and Sandy Porter, 345.
Looking
Yeah,
at
Reed's hanging in at 8th right now at 400 points.
Gavin's done. He's at 425. He's the first one that is confirmed at 425, where he can, like you said, Reed Russell has to take third place to eclipse Gavin. Brian Kelly has to win the set. He has to win.
Well, unfortunately for Brian, that's going to be a tall order in this group. I mean, it's that's why I said I hate going down to the last group having to win, because now you're having to hit against Martin and Reed.
Yep.
Not that Brian can't do it, but that's a tall order for anybody.
Well,
I mean,
one thing that's going to happen is Brian's going to hit a lot of balls in play. He's going to give himself. And like I said, Jared Forder, I know that he's got 125 points, but he's hit the ball great all day. He really truly has.
He's just dangerous too.
Just a smidge, slower than everybody else, But I mean, he's a guy that just puts a lot of balls in play, and he's going up against dudes that are in the mid-teens and 20s.
Reed Russell just hit a ball 33 feet in the air, but it's right down the middle of the grid, and it's going to be a number.
Yep.
You know what? That's probably good enough.
He's tied with Gavin right now.
That's going to be a number.
Yep.
So
which is very important. Borgmeyer just smoothing one at 204. Reed Russell 205. And like I said, with these numbers right now, these guys are trying to put some balls in play. Brian Kelly puts up a 380. That might be good. Even a 375 might be good. So if I'm Brian Kelly, I'm trying to hopefully, I'm trying to hit it. Reed Russell, they said his first ball did not go in play, which I find that hard to believe.
Well, Reed just hammered that ball, and it's right down the middle. So
I can't see his ball speed. It looks like 215. It looks like it's 215. Okay, all right.
It's right down the middle, too. So that's going to be a number right there, and probably a good number.
So we're on camera 8. I'm looking at camera 8 right here in front of me. But, yeah, now I'm looking over to the left on the other screen. 218 or 215 ball speed. Brian Kelly, 377.
Yeah.
I said that's a number that you figured he would put out there, somewhere in that ballpark. Wind's been practically the same for the last 30 minutes. There hasn't been – it hasn't been much. There was a couple gusts of wind where a couple of guys took advantage of it late in a set, but the wind's been consistent.
We haven't gotten a number back from
389
for Reed there. We haven't gotten a number back from Martin. He hit one to yell at earlier on. That was, I think, a 218 ball speed, so that could be a big one too.
So Taiga Tazawa and Bobby Ray could be the spoiler for Jim Waldron, because I'm looking to see who's up against Cody Billinghurst, and it's not him.
Yeah, Martin's
in the
at
next
405.
Yep. Marty Borgie 240. Tighten up a dispersion too. Really is tightening it up. A couple of those balls didn't have much movement, which is nice. So.
But yeah, that 389, that's going to put Reed in. That's going to be good enough.
Yep. And once Martin's done, I'm curious to see what setup he has. He might be hitting like a LD50, LD60. And for me, I'd like to see Martin with a heavier setup. Someone like you too. Like I
have a heavier setup so I use the lighter one, like I said, just for the sheer standpoint of the first 2 days. I don't want to exert too much energy, and I don't have to fight it. So if I need to start, look, Brian Kelly 386, give it his best shot there.
Dude, BK is such a stud. I love it. And look at how many balls he's just put in
now
play.
That we're into that top 32, speed's a little more important. I might switch to a heavier setup and swing a little harder.
Yep.
On deck to finish this group, Dan McIntosh, Sean Johnson.
Brian Kelly, to be expected, he's going to win the performance bonus. Not against Cody Billinghurst as far as the longest set,
most balls
in play to be expected. BK just always lighting up the grid. Martin Borgmeyer, 405 yards. The wind has shifted. It is now left to right. It's shifted in the last 20 seconds. You can feel it. That's the thing. Sitting in the booth, just felt a gust of wind in our face. And once again, shout out to the boys from AKA Collective. They've done an amazing job running the PLDA website, all their socials, and just the videos. Everything that they've done this week has been top notch, and the production has been so easy to announce. We have so much data in front of us now. It makes it so much easier. Like, we don't have any sheets whatsoever in front of us. It's just like,
You don't need them.
you don't need them. We don't need anything. I mean, like, granted, it might be better, like, later on in the tournament to kind of say, hey, this guy is from Pascagoula, Mississippi. He came in second in the spelling bee in 4th grade, but, you know, whatever.
But do people really care?
I don't think they really care. We have enough stories just to kill,
We
you
can
know,
kill
kill
the dead
time.
space.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Bobby Ray looks like a pretty good one there. It might go out left. But, yeah, this is an important one for Jeff Gavin, especially with Jim Waldron and Cody Billinghurst in the same group.
All right, so Bobby Ray has to win this set. He could be the spoiler, and he's not going to – no one's going to lay off the gas here. So right now, Jeff Gavin is got his fingers crossed that Bobby Ray wins this set.
Well, Bobby Ray just hit a missile right down Main Street, so.
207, little cutty. It was about a 20-yard cut.
Not a terrible ball flight,
No.
though, for these conditions.
No.
Wind's coming off left to right a little bit, so it's going to ride that a little bit. I think that could be a pretty big number.
And the thing is that he has no pressure right now, so he's going to be a lot freer swinging the golf club. And these guys, Billinghurst and Waldron, know that they have to win, so they're probably going to press a little bit. So if Bobby Ray puts out a number in the mid-70s, it's going to apply a lot of pressure to these guys. So still waiting on some numbers here from Jim Waldron and Cody Billinghurst. Billinghurst is in at 359, so he has a number on the board as of right now.
That's a pretty good shot right there from Waldron. Yeah, it's going to hook out left. I
2
thought he had it.
4, not much movement.
Billinghurst, I couldn't
Bobby
tell on that
Ray
one.
351. So right now we're looking at the wind. A cut's going to work better ball flight right now. So if these guys
Cody Billinghurst just went to 359.
Yep.
So
and Bobby Ray hits a natural little cut. So Billinghurst with a cut here at 199 mile per hour. But right now he's in the lead. Okay, Jim Waldron takes over 366. Waldron ended up winning the XLD championships last year, and not only that,
well, that's the thing with Jim.
semifinalist.
He knows how to win.
Yep.
He's a competitor. He knows how to stick around. He knows how to win. Bobby Ray 396.
Yep, there it is. Like I said, Bobby Ray, he's has absolutely no pressure right now. He can just
A little downwind, left to right. That's a good condition for him. Just go out there and freewheel it and just.
Yeah. And honestly, that's to be expected. You know, I mean, the guys are going to press a little bit, knowing that they have to win the set. And Bobby can just, I mean, he's looking at, you know, using different equipment.
It's funny. He's mad about that set. I don't know if he's looked at the board to see that he just hit one 396 yards.
Well, he always says he's not the sharpest knife in the drawer. That's what he says, you know. But at the same time, if his lovely girlfriend's watching, Bobby says hello and he loves you very, very much. Because last time we were sitting in the booth, there he is.
Here he comes.
Let's see if he
now.
says anything. The winner of Tropical Paradise Hotel. Me no speak English.
No. Hey, Bobby.
Hey, you won.
The
Who cares?
cut was what
Shut
you
up.
were
Get out of
wanting,
here.
man.
Get out of here. You won.
That-
Jeff Gavin has made it. So
Yes, with that 396, that puts Jeff Gavin in.
yeah. Now
So
Bob.
Jeff Gavin stepping up and doing what he needs to do, and then getting the help right there from Bobby Ray.
And Bobby Ray is a great personality, really is funny dude, and he's an instant brother when you start talking to this kid for like 12 seconds. You just know he's extremely funny, and you know he knows how to turn on the light switch when he steps on a tee box. He's a great competitor. So he ends up winning the set. Jeff Gavin gets in 425 yards. It's been set. Martin Borgmeyer is going to win this set at 900 points. I know Sam Judah hasn't hit yet. But it's over. Martin Borgmeyer is going to win in this group of 16. But if you're in first-year winner, if you're an eighth-year winner. So
That's
Martin
right.
Borgmeyer, Sam Judah, Sean Johnson, Tyga, Dan McIntosh, Bobby Ray, Reed Russell, Jeff Gavin, you're in. You're into the final 32. And now, you know, Gavin's done this multiple times where he's made final 16s, he's made TV rounds at the finals, and he's competing in the senior division as well. So, you know, to be expected, though. Gavin's a beast. Age doesn't matter with him. He's a stud, and it'd be interesting to see how his body holds up because he's going to have to go and hit to win the World Championships. He's going to have to hit 13 sets in the senior division as well. So
My question for this, all right, so you're already through today. You already know you're in. These guys are all in. Do you go out there and freewheel it, or do you lay down a little bit and just kind of maybe find a rhythm?
Well, I'm going to say this. The seedings are different, so if you're a 3-seed or a 4-seed, you might go up against Kyle Berkshire or someone that's 1. But if you take a 2-seed, you might not face the guys that swept. So I think it does matter at some capacity. If you take second place, or whatever in a set, because you're going to go up against, if you're the A-seed, you're going to go up against a stout, I think more of a stout field per se. So, but, at the end of the day, these guys are going to swing as hard as they can, and the fastest, guys are going to be there at the end anyways.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. You're going to have to beat them at some point anyway if you're going to win. So,
yeah.
I mean.
All right, so Sam Judah is at 625 points. Sean Johnson, Ty Gitazawa, and Dan McIntosh, and Bobby Ray. Well, Bobby Ray just won that set, so he's got 800 points. I'm going to steal a water over here.
Bobby Ray, 396 yards, followed by Jim Waldron, 366.
If you're tuning in right now, Bryson DeChambeau will headline.
I don't see any water, Bobby.
I'll take a Gatorade with. There we go.
On the tee now,
DeChambeau hits in 35 minutes. Kyle Berkshire coming off a broken hamate surgery 22 days ago. Ended up winning every single set today, and didn't even hit one ball on the range after he started his first set. And his pitch count was lower than he wanted, or it wanted in a good way. He didn't hit that many golf balls, so it's going to give his hand more time to rest.
He didn't even hit all the balls in his sets.
Mm-mm.
He'd hit one good one, and he'd wait.
Yeah, I think the set that I hit against him, he only hit 4 balls. He went, one, and another set before that, he went 2 or 3. So he would hit 1 ball and play and call it a day. Sam Judah's at 381. Once again, these guys are kind of playing for seeding. I don't think they necessarily care.
I don't think they really care.
But if you're being super strategic, maybe.
I mean, from my standpoint, it's still more of I just want to kick the other guy's ass. So,
yep.
It doesn't matter. If you're a competitor, you want to win, and if you're in a round, you're going to go win. But
Sean Johnson, 387. Let's look at some numbers. 218 from Sam. Little Cuddy. You know what? He just hit a cut into a cut win, so that should be a good number.
That might not be a problem.
That might be a really big number. He pulled it out left just a tad, so he fought the wind slightly, but he hit a cut. So slot number 1 would definitely be an advantage. Like I said, if McIntosh can turn one over here a little bit, it'd be good. Sam Judah 406. There you go. Perfect.
Yeah, right.
Hit a little
cut into a cut wind.
Yep.
That's the right shot shape.
218 miles per hour. So Sam Judah consistently is the fastest guy today. I know that Borgmeyer's had the highest speeds, but it seems like Sam Judah every single shot is in and around 216 to 218.
Yeah.
So he's not missing these golf balls. So yeah, Tyga's yelling. He's at 217, and he's hit a little draw. If we're being critical, he hit a draw into a cut wind.
Might knock it down a little bit.
And this is what happens when you get down to the final 16, final 8.
You got to be able to flight the ball.
Yes.
I mean, that's where your better ball strikers typically do better.
Mm-hmm.
You got to learn to flight the ball.
And you're looking at three or four guys, say McIntosh is just a little bit slower than some of the guys, but look at Sean Johnson, Tyga, and Sam Judah. Those 3 guys could be in the final 8, and they're eerily right around each other as far as distances go.
Yeah.
And like you said, Tyga yelled at that ball when 386, though. He hit a great ball, but he ended up fighting a cut wind. Yep. Sam Judah looking really good. He's going to finish second in this set at 825 points. Bobby Ray finishes.
Let's chase these cards.
Bobby Ray finishes third. So, yeah. 16 entered in Group 3. 8 have survived. Martin Borgmeyer, Bobby Ray, Sam Judah, Sean Johnson, Taika Jizawa, Dan McIntosh, Reed Russell, and the man who drinks from the fountain of youth, Jeff Gavin, 54 years young. And if I'm wrong, Wendy will tell me. If he's 53 or 55, I have no idea. I think he's 54. But Will, it's been an honor and privilege to call the action with you. And
Yes, that was fun.
And, good luck tomorrow.
Thanks, Bo.
I'll be calling the action, man.
I'll see you out there.
Well, we're signing off. We got 30 minutes. DeChambino's going to bang it around there in about 30 minutes.
Yeah,
You're
this
going to
should
hit
be
30
fun to
balls
watch.
as far as you can. But as the late, great Dick Sanford always said, good night, God bless. Drive home safely. We'll be back in 30 minutes. America.